The way the course is laid out, it's so structured. Labs, my friends, must, after every session, they give you labs, do those labs. Don't miss it. I'll just start with a bit of my background.
Yep.
So when I started with this AWS and Azure AI ML course back in June last year, and I'll be honest, I had zero background in AI. So coming from 20 plus years of experience as an Oracle ERP cloud consultant, I wasn't sure even if I belonged in AI space. I was hesitant, I was unsure, I was kind of curious, coming from that background. And I knew that AI is the next frontier, but I also knew it's something new. But after talking to Atul back and forth and all, I joined the course and I made a decision because the industry is moving towards AI. Then I need to move with it, and I joined the K21 Academy AML program, Azure and AWS. I started with AWS actually,
hmm
but I did all that course, and then slowly we once that course was finished, then I moved to Azure. But after doing the course from Azure, I start developing a mindset, a discipline, a structure, because the way the course is laid out, it's so structured, so focused, and it's a layered learning path. So what I would suggest that to start with layer one, cloud plus AI basics. So you can do 900 exam. That will really help you. But I didn't do 900 exam. I basically started with cloud and AI basics. Like what is AI? What is responsible AI? What is ML? How Azure services fits together. So and then the layer two comes that Azure AI services that totally belongs on AI 102, vision, speech, NLP, open AI, orchestration, and so and on while once you're doing all this course, the main thing that actually helped me to build confidence, and also it helped me clear the exam was labs. Labs, my friends, must, every after every session, they give you labs, do those labs. Don't miss it. Because those labs, and there are some, real project labs. So do that also. It will connect the dots. This all, and don't straight away jump into portal. It's huge. There's a lot of learning material, lot of studies. So don't randomly jump into brain dumps or question and answers, or take time. So focus on the concepts, how Azure AI services actually work, how ML models are trained, evaluated, deployed, how LLMs, embeddings, and RAG fit into real world solutions, because there are projects. So kind of first go through that, and then once you build confidence, then you can get into exam mode, and then you can focus on exam measuring criteria, in AI02, AI 102, they do Azure OpenAI, cognitive services, prompt engineering, responsible AI, orchestration pattern, and then recently I cleared my DP100 as well.
Sorry to interrupt, just to tell everyone on what is DP100. DP100 is Microsoft certified Azure Data Scientist, which is more about machine learning, research, data on deep learning, those kind of things. So just to give you some everyone's context, AI 900 is more on a beginner's level, common overview about AI services. Feel free to add something which we are going diverting again. Feel free to interrupt and you say something if you think is we are going in wrong direction, or you might think differently. We'll give equal, because this is more on a discussion. Also, guys, if you have any questions like these are coming, and you might be thinking, oh, should I be doing this, or is it rot? Because as I said earlier, you said you begin with learning with layer one, which is cloud and basics of AI concepts and so on. Then you went into Azure AI services. Then you did labs and so on. So for everyone's benefit, you have AI fundamental, which is AI 900. You also have AI 102, which is a AI engineer, and then you have a DP100, which is more on a data science and so on. But there's also a AZ 900, which is Azure cloud basics as well. So I'm not sure whether you directly jumped on AI 102. Am I right, Manav?
Yes. I mentioned this. I because I didn't give the AS 900 because I went through, but I didn't give the exam 900, but I went through all the cloud
Got
basics, that course material I went through. First,
brilliant.
I first was that only. I built a confidence, like so I said like, yeah, let's go to AI 102. Yeah.
Now, so just one lesson is you don't need to go through AI 900, then only you can clear the AI 102. You can directly jump on. Sometimes it's always good to go if you only have limited time and you say, I don't have a lot of time. I want to hit the biggest one, but you started doing the labs and etc. as well. So sorry to interrupt again. Going back to you went into DP 100, you also cleared DP 100. Over to you.
Yes. So yeah, like as Atul sir mentioned, like yes, AZ 900 is really like the starting point, like which will actually help you clear your fundamentals, complete overall knowledge about Azure, like terminologies, the jargons that is being used during the whole course. So that is must, like you can do that, or you can, but the study material, like that K21 offers, like on cloud basics, and that is also fantabulous. Like even if you go through that and you understand, that's okay. You can, and then you feel that no, I get a knowledge, and then you like want to go for AI 102, you can do that also, like which I did, and it worked for me. In DP 100, like I then the course started, and then we started learning about ML Studio, Auto ML pipelines, compute clusters, like model deployment endpoints, notebooks. So and there are labs on each of these topics. So I went through all of these topics, and then like there were end-to-end project sessions that Saurabh like did with us. So the all that, like kind of together, if you put, like it helped a lot. And then after learning all this, I then went into the cloud, like question and answers that you have, like there are a lot of Q&A. So that's where then I, like went through that, and I was like able to clear the questions on my own. I built more confidence, like rate myself. There is free practice test exam, like Dojo also offer some exams. So then you can, like go into and practice the questions, and then scenario based questions. Yes, one more thing, you should also
Hmm.
know the Python. So don't miss the Python coding, because in the exam they'll give you a Python code, and they will ask you to fill, like okay, to can you complete this code, and like if you are doing this code, is this code like doing this or that, like so that kind of thing. So also I would say, while you are doing your AI/ML journey, also don't miss Python. You need to do that, because in exam there are questions, they will give you small Python codes. So that I would say.
So, so great. So the question on Python, was it Saurabh did or you did it attended, because we also have Python as a bonus class
Yes.
gaming. So my question
I
is,
I started from beginning from Python. Python
oh,
was
you
my
started from
first.
Python.
Yes,
Understood.
Python was my first class with the AIML.
Brilliant. So just for everyone's benefit, we also have a Python as a separate bonus class we give. Also, we recently added Python certification. So there's a
Great.
beginner level certification which you added just for everyone's benefit. But my question was, Manav, do you think that whatever Saurabh did, was that Python enough, or is it good to have? So accordingly, I can tell them and say, hey, do this part as well, or whatever we covered in, or whatever we cover in Azure, is that enough, or you think? And again, give me the genuine, because I'm going to bring that if that's required. I'm going to bring that as
Yes,
well inside the
I
program.
would, because I did Python earlier, so I
Hmm.
understood what Saurabh was saying. But there were people who were not from that background, and they were like,
Struggling.
when you were doing this labs with SDK and by calling API. So during SDK, you need Python code. So yes, there are some people who were struggling with understanding that. That's why Saurabh has to go through each and everything. But yes, I would suggest, yes, please add more Python in Azure. Yes, an intermediate knowledge of Python is good, like because there are questions in the exam, right? So you don't
Hmm.
want to, like fail, like skip those questions or don't understand. So yeah, so that's why. Other than that, like like same structure I followed for DP learning when we entered into machine learning, like data prep, training, tuning, evaluation, deployment, monitoring. So all these topics were covered, and then yes, one thing I would say that, like so self study is required. Like it's not that just by listening to the course and, like and that's it. No, it won't land you anywhere. Yeah, theory you can listen, but you need to spend time every day on your own on that, doing the labs. Labs is must. If you're not doing lab, So, so then because for me, lab worked actually. Like, that's where I built the confidence. That's where I understood the concept. That's where I did. So labs actually will help you. And yeah, and do self-study on daily basis, 2 hours or weekend, whenever you get a chance, give maximum time, and you will see you will build confidence and you will crack the exam. Yes. Yes.
Brilliant.
And
So
one
just
more
to,
thing
sorry.
in the end, I would add, just the knowledge that I gained in this course, this was Azure and AWS focused. I was able to relate it to my Oracle because on Oracle I've been working for 20 years. So I was able to clear Oracle GenAI exam, OCI GenAI exam by learning from all this GenAI and all that. I was able to clear that exam. That's so this is how good the course is. And I would definitely recommend, I would say, and I'm still learning. I'm now, because I did AWS earlier. Now I'm revising all that. And I'm also now doing that GenAI mastery. That's, I'm learning a lot.
Okay, so just for everyone's benefit, once you do this, once you understand these certifications, there's also something called as GenAI Mastery. We recently started. We've done, I think, 6 or 7 sessions. Make sure that you attend that as well. That will give you the full 360-degree view, not just later in the GenAI Mastery. We have to go on to AWS, Azure, Google, Oracle, and it'll be easy breeze ride for you, Manav, because you've already done those. But you will
Yes.
see how these done are not cloud agnostic. Right now, you're doing on cloud point, but you've learned a
Yes.
lot. But cloud agnostic is also important. So that's also is
Yes.
very, very important. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So just to
So
recap, if I've
I'm
understood,
done
sorry.
actually. Yes. So yeah,
No, no worries. So I have lots and lots of questions, and I want other people as
sure.
well, because
Sure.
because I'm assuming if I'm in your place, I come from Oracle background. There are a lot of guys from Oracle might be listening this and coming.
Yeah.
First of all, they might come and say, "Oh, why I have to do this? Other things, AWS, Azure, or GenAI Mastery, or Agentic AI, and why
Hmm.
not just focus on Oracle? How it will
Yeah.
help others, like learning something not just specific to one. It's good. It's okay to have one, but overall picture. What would you say to them, given that what you know now with Oracle background?
First thing, I'll break down this, how learning AI helps you far more than staying only in Oracle. By learning AI, it will multiply your value of your Oracle skills. It will not replace it. It will kind of multiply. AI is right now, everything is moving towards AI, right? So in once you learn all this AI skill set, your Oracle knowledge will become 10 times more valuable. You can add AI agents, rack systems, predictive models, AI driven decision support. So you're not leaving Oracle behind. By doing this course, I actually elevated it. And on the other side, I got another skill set in my basket. Instead of just working on Oracle, now I have confidence that I can also get into other fields AI. Because see, right now the market is going towards cross cloud. So if you are only focused on one cloud,
One.
Oracle cloud specialized, no, people they want you to understand cross cloud. Should know how Azure Studio, Azure OpenAI Search, AWS Bedrock. So you need to have understanding of all that. If you are planning to go to an architect level or senior level, you need to have by doing this course, it will give you a cross cloud power. So it's good that Oracle is strong, but Oracle is not picking up. But learning AI, Azure, AWS, OpenAI, and also we all the skills, it will give you a multi-cloud architectural skills. You understand AI from different cloud perspective.
Yeah, I think because a lot of guys were nervous. Oh, if I go from Oracle to now AI, people will think, oh, I'll lose my skill. There's
No,
nothing
no,
like that.
no.
That's what I wanted to reinforce as well. And
Yeah.
just final question was from you, and then I bet depending on if your time is,
Mhm.
imagine you were June or July, whenever before you joined, how were you feeling this? Because there are a lot of guys who've recently joined or maybe joining. If they're watching this,
Mhm.
what will you think about? Think or just for a minute how you're feeling that time and how are you feeling now, given that if you remember those days when you started
Yes.
and yeah, because
When
that's
you
where is the real transformation I wanted to see and feel you yourself a year back or maybe just 7, 8, 9 months June last year before you started. Yeah.
you know, I remember at that time. I had a lot of back and forth emails. It was a very, very different mindset before I started my AI journey. I was AI looked exciting, but also intimidating at
No.
that time.
Yeah.
People, I used to hear people talking about LLMs, embeddings, RAGs, MLOps, and I wondered, can I learn all this? And I have no background, no understanding. I was like, confused, or I was doubting, myself. I felt like that, I've now stuck between something that I already know, and now there is something new coming in the market. But after I joined the AI journey course with K21, and spending time slowly with the starting with the basics and then Python and all, things start getting changed. Everything actually changed, actually. So the fear that I had in my mind, it actually disappeared, and there
Brilliant.
was a clarity. And the more I started learning, I started to correlate with my Oracle and everything. It started making sense. And then, when you start with the basic concepts, and then you start doing the labs, that turned the theory into confidence, actually. And there are, then so many project sessions that happen. So, and I built confident. I started feeling more confident. I actually, get an understanding how an AI system actually work, not just in real theory, but
Mhm.
from practical point of view also. Even though I don't have, practical, deep project experience, but I have an understanding of the architecture of AI right now. And I understand, how Azure, AWS, and this AI agent things, they how they are linked, and how they are working, and what kind of problems, they can solve. So, now I am focused to take my career towards AI architecture and multi-cloud intelligence, actually, including Oracle and Azure, and I will also do AWS. I'm studying, but I will do that. So, because I didn't get a chance to revise all my course for AWS, so I'm going to revise that, and I'm going to do that. And now there is, I think, agentic AI is, more in demand. That's the future. So I have that course also as a bonus that was given to me. So I'm waiting for the classes for that. I will do that also. Yeah. Earlier I was curious but unsure. Now I am confident, skilled, and fully
Confident.
aligned.